Hey, hi, hi.
Okay, so we're about to go live. I clicked the live already. Please,
Got
Asla.
it.
I gotta share my screen first. Hang on.
Can.
Hang on. Don't go live yet. Hang on. Okay. Is it go live now? You can't because I share screen.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Looking at the sound quality.
I think we start. Can we start? Can we start, guys?
Yeah, I think Saskia is live now.
Okay, we start now.
Alright, let's do it. Good. Finally live, man. Good, man. Good stuff. You're good.
We are facing a climate crisis. From drastic changes in weather to a growing population that we are struggling to feed, to carbon levels reaching an all-time high. One thing is clear, now is the time to save Mother Earth. But how? How do we reverse the damage that we have done over hundreds of thousands of years? Do we have time? Do we have solutions? Yes, we do. There is hope. The ground beneath us holds the key and potential to become one of the biggest mitigators of climate change while serving as the most reliable source of food for our ever-growing human family. In Malaysia alone, we see the effects on our food security, on our rainforests, and on the animals who are all just innocent bystanders in this looming crisis. Local rice production in the last 4 years has decreased by 6.2%, and we import 50 billion ringgit of food every year, despite having vast arable land. This has to change, and it can. Regenerative agriculture must become the new norm in the agricultural industry. We must work hand in hand with nature to not only heal the planet that has served us for so long, but also to heal ourselves. Let's be on the right side of history with this revolution. Ready? Hello everyone, and welcome to World Soil Day 2021. So excited to be doing this again. Last year was an absolute blast. This year we have a very special session. Not only will we be talking to professionals and experts about soil and health, but we will have a first-hand look, a unique showcase on the Kuala Pila Regenerative Farm. We will be talking to Dr. Ting Ho in great detail, asking him questions about how it all works.
Anyone more?
Happy World Soil Day. I'm Christine Gould, founder and CEO of Thought for Food, and a proud soil lover and enthusiast. At TFF, we work to engage and support the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs all over the world to build new solutions that will transform our food systems to be inclusive, healthy, and of course, regenerative. We work with tens of thousands of young people in more than 170 countries who deeply understand their local food and agricultural needs and contexts, and we connect them with a global community of collaborators. Together, we work to develop and implement all kinds of amazing, impactful solutions from the ground up. And speaking of the ground, this is at the base of all of our food systems, our soils. Soils are vibrant, biodiverse, rich, living systems teeming with microbes and insects and essential nutrients that help crops to flourish. They sequester carbon from the air and manage water systems. And to make sure that we can sustainably nourish our growing population, we have to start by respecting, protecting, and nurturing our soils because they hold the key to solving so many of the challenges that we face today. Through the years, I've seen many projects come to life with TFF that focus on just this, protecting and regenerating our world's precious soils. And one team that stands out from this year is Umica, a team from Mexico. They've developed a platform that supports smallholder farmers and especially women to adopt an ancient technology called biochar. When biochar is applied to soils, it can improve soil quality, reduce water runoff, sequester carbon for thousands of years, and halt emissions of potent greenhouse gases, such as nitrous oxide and methane. Biochar is being used all over the world, including in Southeast Asia. And we are really excited to see that young entrepreneurs are taking on this ancient technology as a solution to the climate crisis. You can find out more about Umica and soil solutions and all kinds of sustainability-focused projects that we've supported on our website and in our recently released film called Generation Food, which is available for free to watch on our website. But now we're going to turn it over to the stars of the show. Before we do, I really would like to give a heartfelt thanks to Miss Melissa Ong, who is our CEO of Southeast Asia. She has really taken TFF to the next level in this very important part of the world. I'd like to thank our dedicated team of ambassadors and our community leaders for making this important event happen to commemorate World Soil Day. Of course, I would also like to thank our expert speakers who are here with us today. I'm really looking forward to learning from all of you. I'm really excited for the special address from my friend, Dr. Ting Ho. I had the chance to meet him last year for World Soil Day. It's great to be back together. And of course, we all get to take this virtual visit to the regenerative field. Thank you all for spending World Soil Day with us. And on behalf of our world soils, let's protect and restore and build a food secure future for the 10 billion people that are expected to live here by 2050. Thank you very much.
Camera rolling, go for it.
Thank you so much for that welcome address, Miss Christine. It was lovely to hear from you. I hope you're doing well in Switzerland. Next up, we have our special guest speakers who are experts and scientists on soil and health, who will be sharing their point of view. First off, we have Professor Dr. Koshi Philip, a research professor from the University of Malaya. We will also have Professor Hesham Ali Al-Ansashi, the Institute of Biotechnology Development and University Technology Malaysia. We'll have Assistant Professor Dr. Nilu Suraini from the Udayana University in Bali, Indonesia. And last but not least, we will hear from Professor Lawal Marafa from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Let's hear from them.
Good.
I am Professor Dr. Koshi Philip from the Institute of Ocean and Earth Sciences, University of Malaya. I'm also an adjunct professor with University College Sadaya International, and I have been working with for quite a number of years, and my main focus is on the microbiome, and I have started with soil microbiome work as early as 1979, and this has led me to be able to understand the variation within the soil microbiome niche in the natural ecosystem. And this research passion of mine has led to the possibility of working out many areas and problems encountered in agriculture, soil fertility, and good production of safe and healthy food. There are 4 entities within the soil, and from the soil to agriculture to food and to public health. Now, these 4 entities are very vital if we can achieve a safe environment for good health and well-being. Soil health is very critical because if it's not for good soil health, you'll never be able to achieve good soil fertility. And that leads to good productivity and high quality of agriculture that in turn generates good food, and that is highly vital to good human health and public health. How is this possible? This is possible if the beneficial microorganisms in the soil is enhanced. And my fundamental study of the microbiomes, right from the time when I was a postgrad student, starting in 1979, has enabled me to understand the ecology and the soil microflora in great detail. Now, a good amount of beneficial soil microorganisms to begin with gives a high impact to the root region, or what we call as the rhizosphere of the plants. And a good microbiome also in the aerial parts of the plant called the phytosphere can also keep many harmful microorganisms and pests at bay. It is even possible to put some of these microorganisms in formulated biopesticides and thereby avoid a lot of chemical pesticides. One of the biggest challenge to agriculture today is exceeding the maximum residue limit of chemicals in the current system of conventional agriculture. Now, the study of microbiome is possible to reduce the dependence on these chemicals and to use it with good agriculture practice so that this maximum residue limit is not exceeded and the manipulation of the soil microbiome is possible to achieve the best soil fertility as well as to be able to develop a healthy production system and thereby enable the harvest of healthy, clean, and safe food. I trust that this program for World Soils Day can go a long way to achieve this objective in time to come.
My name is Professor Dr. Hisham Al-Inshasi. I'm a director Institute of Bioproducts Development at University of Technology, Malaysia. And for many years, one of my research activities is focuses on the production of essential microbes for the soil health and biological control for plant pathogens. I consider soil as the base and the roots of all sorts of life on the earth. And the water we drink, the food we eat, and even the air we breathe is closely related to the soil components we have. For years, people not considering soil sustainability and the soil health, and they think it's stay forever like that. But soil is not just the chemicals, and it's also a complete ecosystem of chemical components, micro and macroorganisms, and living organisms as well, which is have what we can see like microorganism or microbes, which of the soil, which is all together shaping the soil quality and availability of the nutrients. The link between the human microbes or microbiomes of our body, which is our essential microbes for us to survive, and the soil microbes is nowadays well established. For many foods we eat, we are not consuming it just as nutrients in form of carbohydrates, protein, minerals, and vitamins, but also we take the microbes from the soil. Some essential microbes we take, which are non-pathogenic, but also playing a significant role in our health. Therefore, Healthy soil is essential for the healthy plant, healthy animal, and the healthy humans as well. Therefore, soil is the base and considered as essential component for the health growth pyramid. Every year, we lose thousands of hectares of healthy and fertile soil. This is as a result of extensive use of chemicals and fertilizers and pest control agents. Pollutants, as well as the biggest challenge nowadays is the climate change. And therefore, the main challenge now is for every year population increase, the world populations increase. And the area of healthy soil suitable for agriculture activity and plantation decrease. Therefore, researchers, farmers, governmental and non-governmental organizations need to work together to tackle this problem and implement regulations with strong enforcement to protect our soil. At the end, I would like just to say, low soil quality means low human health quality. And once we lose the soil, we will lose life on this earth. Thank you very much.
Soil is the foundation of our life in the earth. No soil, then no life. We need soil for the growth of the plant. All of the nutrition of the plant come from the soil. The increased population in the world must be balanced with food increase. Various way to increase production agriculture, like with a chemical fertilizer and chemical pesticide. From 30 years ago till now, the agriculture in the world use the chemical fertilizer and the chemical pesticide. It can increase the production of the agriculture, but show many effect to the soil like soil toxic. This is the negative effect. Many organisms like soil macroorganisms and microorganisms reduce chemical pesticide can kill not target organism, then very difficult to degrade by soil microorganism become soil intoxic. If microorganism reduce in the soil, so the function of the microorganism like produce hormone for good plant like IAA hormone function to the produce phytochemical compound to the protect from disease, and produce enzyme for the plant are reduced. And the plant absorb many toxics from the soil like heavy metal, IB, CD, NCN, and others. Any toxic for human body and unsustainable. And our body in malnutrition and affect many diseases like cancer, degenerative disease, less in the production like the less in the sperm for the man, and the problem in fertility for the woman. So the quality of our food different to what we treatment to the soil. Our healthy different to our soil. So the food healthy, so we must treatment the soil with the natural and the organic fertilizer and organic pesticide. Because the organic fertilizer and pesticide very easy to degrade by soil microorganism and macroorganism and not residue in the soil. Organic fertilizer can increase growth and production of the plant and not dangerous for our body. The organic pesticide by use the part of the organism like from the microorganism because the organism like fungus, bacteria can produce many phytochemical to depress grass disease, and biopesticide can mix from plant extract like the fiber caninum and others extract can decrease blast disease on rice and very easy to degrade in the soil. The soil microorganism can use as the biofertilizer because can fix the end and can dissolve the phosphate and others and ready to absorb by plant root to nutrition. When we consume product from the organic agriculture, so we can recovery our body and can depress many diseases like cancer, generative disease, and others. And it is the natural concept to have safety food. Safety food is the natural medicine.
Greetings to you on the World Soil Day, and this is a very good occasion, for us to remember a few things. So, soil, food, agriculture, and human health. These are things that certainly we have to pay attention to. There are quite a few issues when we look at particularly exposure of people to soil. That means soil toxins, for example, pathogens, organisms, and so on. And soil basically is the medium generally, for food production that emphasizes the need to maintain nutrients, within the soil, nutrient supply, to some extent medication, and then of course enhancement of immune system, to people. For this to continue to happen, there has to be good soil that supports, chemically active, systems, biologically active, soil systems, and essentially the general, ecosystem services. Now, what we can basically identify as we move on is what do soil do for us, and basically what do soils also do to us. So these are two different things, what soil do for us and basically what soil also do to us. Now, generally, there are things like, carbon sequestration, detoxification, water and nutrient retention, in the soils, and of course, maintenance, of a good biodiversity. And in many cases, also what soil do for us, if it is not treated well, is, through exposure, like I said earlier, to soil-borne diseases, soil-borne toxins, and these can basically be represented by the availability of, quite a few chemicals, arsenic, cadmium, zinc, and so on. And those can generate infections through viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, and so on and so forth. And there is also, to some extent, the existence of what we call the POPs, and that is persistent organic, pollutants, that might be able to be, affecting people's health. And so when that happens, the effect on people's health can actually be through the blood vessels. It can actually also be through the liver, through the brain, through the lungs, and kidney, and so on. So those could be diseases that can basically be life-threatening. There can also be short-term, what I call short-term, if you like, illnesses, that are basically, not pleasing to health. And that can mean, dizziness because of exposure. That can mean nausea, that can be vomiting, that can be skin irritation, that can be eye irritation, that can basically also result into headache. So these are certain things that we have to look and consider if we are trying to think about soil, food, and essentially human health. I will stop here and I will say thank you.
Camera rolling, go for it.
Wow, that was amazing. So interesting to hear the point of views of all of these soil experts and professionals. Don't you want to hear more? Well, have no fear. We are about to have a very special address by Dr. Ting Ho, a senior specialist of regenerative agriculture and advisor to the Thought for Food Southeast Asia Regional Hub. Let's hear from him now.
Now, what is your feeling right now? What do you think about this entire projects that you have initiated after a year of hard work? And what do you want people to really get out from it?
Yes, I spent 1 year working on the soil, just with a man Friday, and then 2 of us together built this farm to the stage that it is. It's not complete, but we have started on a good journey. So I've learned that soil is very cooperative if you treat it right. And then I also discovered that all the small animals and all the insects and all the lizards are our helpers. They don't destroy us. You see, the land that you stand on today is so large and green because they are here. They make this place their home. And they are not intruders. Actually, we are their guests. And as guests, we have to behave. We have to understand. Now, of course, many people came over and asked me, why don't you use a pest? Why don't you kill them? Or why don't you spray this thing because some of them nibbling on the leaf? I say, no. You cannot kill your helper. You need them. That they nibble on the leaf, you can see for yourself. All the trees, all the vegetables are growing very large because they are helping me. It's not because I can do it by myself. So what he has told me is that if the society come together, if living things come together, we can solve this world's problem. We should not separate ourselves. We should not exclude ourselves, but we should be more inclusive. We take them into consideration, take their interest into consideration, because we are not the only being that live on this planet Earth. Now, if you believe in God, God created this place for all to enjoy. Because if we deprive them of food, if we exclude them for joining the food chain, all will suffer. Because then they will become criminal, they come to steal the food at night. So why don't we work together? And why we say what they need, give them what they need basically. And then we will have a good time together. And the tree will thrive. And I see a lot of people live in fear and despair because nothing seems to grow. And then they say, all my plant grow is being eaten by insect or eaten by squirrel. But as you see from the farm, of course there are some insect nibbling on the leaf. But what harm does it do? Because it does no harm. Let them eat. Let them be strong. Because I give them strong food. They will be strong and they're helping us. Yeah. So the rest, what message I like to contribute, I'd like to appeal to the public is this. Now we have to notice something. The earth is really sick and we need to do something about it. So the thing that you can do is to participate in this movement, get the message out and join hands. Do what you can because this is our home. This is a place that we all share, we all live. Because if this home crumbles, we have no other planet to go to. Now, that is the message I think. I like participation, I like cooperation. I open up the fire, invite everybody to come and give me ideas and what we can do. And we can, as citizens, we can do a lot more. Not looking for other people to make the move, but we can contribute in a very small way, a little way. We are all part and parcel of this family. Yeah. Thank you.
Skanda, now you're gonna take.
And rolling.
Go. This World Soil Day is today celebrated all over the world. We are not alone in giving thanks to the soil, which sustains our life. The world now realizes the need to love and care about our ecosystem. We are blessed here in Malaysia, in this beautiful country, because we are free to imagine and fantasize. Now we are free to even imagine the most fantastic dream of killing the people of chronic diseases with clean, safe, and nutritious food. More lemon. We can dream about living in harmony with all the creatures, large and small. Can this be done? There is no doubt that not only it can be done, but it must be done to save ourselves our economy, our ecology, most of all, our human civilization and human race. To quote Robert Kennedy, some men see things as they are and say why. I dream of things that never will and say why not. My journey began when I realized that the quality and standards of food chain has been severely compromised. Worse, this is done not in secret but openly with our knowledge and acquiescence. This is done due to the fear that unless we use chemical input to boost production, mankind may die of hunger. Truth is, toxic chemical inputs to boost production cause more problems than they solve. When the soil is damaged, the fundamentals of agriculture are destroyed. When plants can no longer grow on toxic soil, we all will have even bigger problems. There is need for a radical mindset change. Instead of being a source of health and well-being for our bodies, the food that we eat has become the source of health challenges. Many have ruined themselves just by eating. How ridiculous is it to work hard in the big city, sacrifice the sleep every night, having no weekends, no public holidays, but work long hours, live in tiny rooms, store in traffic, and then before your 50th birthday, you are diagnosed to have chronic health challenges. Some caught them at an even earlier age. Non-infectious chronic triple highs, high blood pressure, high blood glucose, high cholesterol cases are on the rise. Early aging, cancer, autism, insomnia, asthma, allergies, lower bowel infection, infertility, and many other chronic diseases are found to be food-related. Many are living in fear and despair about the future instead of hope. Living in my little fantasy world, I ask two questions. Is it possible for Earthlings to live apart from nature? The answer is resoundingly no. We derive our needs from nature, and if nature dies, we perish with her. So, to continue living now and in the future, we need to have a robust and regenerative nature. Is nature our friend or our foe? Nature has to be our friend for us to live. When nature turns against us, there is no escape, and we will all perish with her. Back to Nature Farm is about finding out what can we do to produce clean, safe and nutritious food by working with and learning from nature. As a student, we have much to learn. We start from the ground level, assuming nothing. We keep our eyes, ears open and ready to receive knowledge.
Yeah, you maximize the space.
Over the past several months, we have learned the meaning of regenerative soil, power of regeneration in plant cutting, interaction between soil microbes and plant health, coexistence with other creatures in the farm. A key to my awakening is the realization that this world that we live in is not created just for us, but to be generally shared with all other creatures, visible and invisible ones. Some are big, while others are small, gregarious and invisible to the naked eye. To live well and to be assured of good health and capable of enjoying life to the fullest, we need more than just the humankind on planet Earth. We need helpers, healers, doctors and other service providers. Many of them are not humans, but other life forms. Even the human body contains less than 10% of human cells. In this regard, we cannot hope to monopolize the resources and leave the merits of life to live in perpetual hunger and poverty. The lives that surround us, protect us, nurture us, also need to be fed, to be cared for, and to be in good health. Otherwise, there is going to be strife, struggle, war, and destruction. Quality of life will suffer when the fabric which holds the community together begins to break down. When this happens, life can no longer sustain us for long.
I'm eating everything.
In this
this is
regard,
nice.
conservation
Fresh.
is needed. We need
look
to
like good.
preserve and
This one with sambal.
conserve nature's resources
Yeah.
and not to degrade and to deplete. We need to preserve our natural flora and fauna
show you
in the villages and in the
That
forest so that life can be sustained in the future. Back to Nature will join hands with Bombasa to create new learning environment to educate new generation of students, teachers, leaders, and agroforestry, food cultivation in a jungle setting. Back in my little fantasy world, I dream of dedicating Back to Nature Farm as a center for citizens' efforts in creating and disseminating advanced biotechnology related to the issue of plant health, soil health, and human health. We know that all lives are interconnected,
I've
and
never
that
had
soil
calamansi that
health
is
is
like
the
this.
foundation of all health. This is because food is created by soil microorganisms who are the true assembly line workers. Without them doing the job well, we cannot hope to
Because he cannot just
enjoy nutrient-dense food for our body. The microbes supply the basic ingredients for plants' metabolism. In addition, through photosynthesis, we enjoy the health benefits from consuming food and essential bioactive substances produced by fruits, flowers, leaves, roots, stems, and herbal plants. By working with Academy of Tropical Sciences Association, UTM, UPM, we hope to bring the lab results to test them on the farm to benefit the farmers and our society. There are a few projects in the pipeline through collaborative efforts. Key among them are micronutrients, soil bioremediation, forest honey, and beneficial herbal tea. I would like to invite the rural community to join force with us to bring this project to fruition and to bless the country and to bless the people through our effort and by working closely with the soil community. Thank you.
And what's it?
Pressure, diabetics, friends, you know. So you cannot good. And then you can see this is
Important to us.
yeah. So this is rambutan tree. This rambutan.
Camera rolling and go for it.
As a chef, ingredients are very important to us. And what is the foundation of good food for all? It is the soil that we stand on. It's the soil that gives us all the nutrients and all the wonderful produce. So let's all start respecting the soil. Tujukan.
Camera rolling?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wow, wasn't that just spectacular? Thank you so much to Dr. Ting Ho for walking us through his regenerative field. It was very, very informative, and it was great to see what's been going on in the last year with varieties of over 200 edible crops. We'd also love to thank all of the esteemed guest speakers that came and shared their point of view, all of our soil experts and professionals. And of course, we have to mention and thank Miss Christine Gold, our TFF CEO and founder, and our TFF CEO of the Regional Hub of Southeast Asia, Miss Melissa Ong. Thank you so much for your hard work for organizing this very, very special event. I am Iskandar Smurthwaite, and I have been your host for World Soil Day 2021. We'll see you next year.